So what we're going to do is, at this point, this one, I decided I want to do, yeah, thank you, Emily. I've decided I want to do fold over elastic with this one. So this is going to mean that I'm going to need to cut off 3/8 of an inch because I need to get rid of my seam allowance because a fold over elastic goes right over the edge. So I'm going to go get my 1/8 inch elastic because I think we should probably, well, this is a smaller size. This one's probably okay. If you're working on a bigger size, you'd probably want to have an elastic that you'll overlock into it and then put your fold over. But when you're sewing your fold over, you're going to want to stretch it a little bit, and it really depends on the stretchiness of it. So I'm going to hit my machine again. Because this one is going to be, I'm going to use the fold over, the front neckline, the sides, and basically that's it. So I need to cut off 3/8 of an inch. So I'm kind of looking on my machine and finding a spot that I consider to be, and actually we had a marking right here on our machine of where 3/8 was. Actually that's my quarter, so I'm going to start sewing. So you just got to be really careful here because you're cutting off a lot. And if you don't cut it evenly, so if you're not using an overlock machine and you want to use the fold over, you could have actually cut that off prior to sewing, but I wasn't sure which one I was going to do because I'm doing 3 samples right now and I wasn't sure which one was going to have the fold over, and now I am. So this one's now ready for fold over. No, honey. And this side, I'm also going to cut off. And you just got to be real careful that nothing's get tangled underneath. Make sure all the seams are out there. I know, I sew with my fingers right next to the blade, which is a little bit dangerous. I always yell at my students to not do that. But I feel like I have a better control when I've got my fingers. But I also sew in little bits and pieces and sew slower. So. Nope. Because it's for me. Okay, and I have my. Well, I know you. What? No, I don't want you cutting anything, honey.
No, I was just going to cut these things off.
Well, I don't want you to cut those things off. The overlock threads are supposed to be there until we're done sewing, so nothing comes unraveled. And I know how you are. If you find something that's going to start coming undone, you're just going to keep pulling at it. Okay, this is the last little bit. Okay, yes I do. Thank you.
And then hand it back.
Okay. So this will be ready for fold over elastic around the neckline and armhole. And I will get to that in just a bit. I have to iron my fold over elastic in half, and then I have to go to my zigzag machine to attach it from over there. When sewing fold over elastic, trying to maneuver it in the machine to fold it as you're sewing is going to be difficult. This elastic of mine is actually a little bit easier, so you could probably get away without ironing it, but any other fold over elastic you have, such as one like this, it's basically not going to want to stay folded. So as you're sewing, it could actually flip over on you. For this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to iron them folded, and it'll help when you're going to guide it. Even if it doesn't stay completely closed, the crease will make sure that it actually folds in the right direction. So I'm just going to fold that. And if you have a little steam, you can use steam. The steam on my iron's not working right now. And basically iron your whole piece. You'll need, I think about 3 yards or so. Kind of depends on your size. It doesn't hurt to always have a little extra ironed. You want to experiment a little bit prior to sewing it onto your garment if you've never worked with a fold over like this before. So you can see it has a nice fold. It may come unfolded a little bit when you get to your sewing machine. This one is a nylon fold over elastic. This is one that we carry, I believe it's 20 millimeters, it's between 18 and 20 millimeters wide, which is a little bit wider than traditional fold over elastic. Most that you'll actually buy in the store like this is only 15 millimeters, so it doesn't give you a lot of space to fold it over. So what I have is really great. I've got black and I also have white, and since they're nylon, they can be dyed. There you go. And the next step will be going to the machine and putting this on your garment. For this sports bra, we're going to do a fold over elastic around the neckline. We want to make sure that when the elastic's going to be, the fold over is going to be finished, that it will actually match the strap width. I'm just going to double check. It is on the front, and then this is going to be, there'd be like a little gap right there, so I think the back is fine too. So I've got my fold over. So what I'm going to do is I need to get my zigzag set up. And I'm going to get it started. Get those pins. And I'm actually going to start zigzagging on my elastic. Okay, once I've got a little bit started, then I'm actually going to feed these in. So I don't need that. This is going to go right to the edge. Once I'm started in there, I can actually give my elastic just a little bit of a tug and fold it over. So you're kind of maneuvering, because the fold over elastic sometimes stretches a little bit more than it should. Well, it doesn't really come back to its full shape, essentially. And that's really how you can say it. It's a lot stretchier than other elastics. So I'm not stretching it much, I'm really only stretching it slightly. If you don't do some type of stretching, you're going to end up having some kind of like fanning of the elastic. But sample it, do a little sample first, so you have an idea of how much to pull it. So you can see I'm only doing a little bit at a time. And I'm doing this on the top side. Okay. Of course I don't need those scissors. Clip that there. Since I've already got that started. It's right there in the fold. Just up in the front. Yeah, definitely have a little bit more elastic than needed. Okay. So this one is for the fold over. I'm going to just go ahead and snip off these corners. And do it on the back too. Okay, for this one we're going to do just the plain elastic straps. So they have an angle on them, and the idea is, so you can test it, kind of should go at this angle, and my cat's in the way. So that way when it goes over, it kind of comes across your shoulder. Honey, you cannot be here. Yeah, and so this one's in this angle. Ryan, out of the way. So because I did the fold over elastic, it might stretch a little bit, so I'm going to kind of force it back into that shape. I'm going to force it to line up. Okay, I'm going to do the fronts first. Got to change my stitch back to straight. Okay, so right here, it's easier to see it here. I want to line this point up, so we're going to overlap this. So right where that's going to start being stitched is going to be right there. And so where I'm going to overlap right here at that 3/8 right there, I'm making sure that those are secure. Honey, please get off my... I just kicked my daughter out of here because I couldn't sew, and here I got a cat in my way instead. Okay. Probably try and give it a little bit of a tug so there's no pleats in there. So for the most part it will be fairly smooth of a transition. It's going to have like a little bubble in there. I'll probably flip this up to stitch that. On this side I probably should have trimmed off slightly more. So you can see right here, that one's going to overlap. And the foot on this machine is basically 3/8 of an inch wide, so. Let's see, I'll have this one. This one might have come out a little better. Yeah, that one came out a little bit better, but I think I'm still going to flip it up for stitching. So I'm just going to make sure I've got this in here correctly. So it's going to come like this. So you have to fold it in this way. And remember, we're going to have it overlap right at the edge with that 3/8. So this is going to be here. So you can see what I did. I just kind of flipped it over. Finish this strap up here. I'm going to flip this one up because I think it'll look a little bit better. So I'm going to do a stitch right there, and so I'm going to kind of force the underneath to really be underneath. Really, you're not going to move for me? No, it's not going to move for me. Didn't like that stitch I just did. Try it this way, or maybe we'll just do it this way. It's not as neat as I'd like it to be, but it might work a little bit better. There you go. Here is the Christina sports bra, and this one is actually for my trainer Christina. So this is who it was named after, was my personal trainer. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this up, and so that's the fold over elastic finish.